in love.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah, so it's getting to be a little bit more painful for him to be, third and then tonight second, so
Yeah, for no reason. It's just his last 15 games he's batting a buck 75. His last 30 games he's batting 221, and that doesn't go into tonight where he went 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts.
right.
So he just hasn't been hitting. He's honestly, what is he, halfway to his plate appearances already, or something like that? Like he's well on his way to his plate appearances this year.
Yeah, I wonder if he's even crossed the
He's
300
at he's at
threshold.
177 for at bats right now. But
He
I mean,
is, yeah.
so
Yeah.
that would be four more. So he's at what he's at 181 now, if this didn't account for tonight, which I don't think it does. So he's at 181 plate appearances. The guy's 34 years old. Do you want a 35-year-old, $25 million player on the team when this is one of the biggest free agencies in baseball history coming up? And you got guys that are eventually going to get paid. You got guys in arbitration like Mookie, who obviously needs some money, who's going to go up from his 12 million this year. I'm sure that even if it's 15, it's still $3 million more dollars. I just don't understand why they've got Hanley in the lineup. I agree. Core's being stubborn with him. I don't know why. I know he's a good locker room guy. I know he's fun in games, but you can do that on the bench. You can come in and pinch hit. You can play every 3-4 games. You don't need to play three in a row. I just don't know why he's there now. I think he needs a break. I think Moreland should be at first. I think JD should be DHing. I think Benintendi should be in left. JBJ should be in center just for defense every single game.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just I don't think they are going to move off of him. Cora seems
No, they
to.
won't. They absolutely won't.
Yeah, they should. I mean, we both agree on that, but Cora just likes him in the leadership role. I do like his presence at third base. How he's making sure he seems to be right on the ball with making sure they're in the right positions for whatever their cue cards under their hat say for a given
Oh yeah,
hitter.
he's mentally in it this year for sure. And I think
Yeah,
that just I think that's like the dog part of Hanley where he knows he needs to do this because he needs to show something because his batting's gonna go down. So he's the lovable guy. He's keeping everybody's heads in the game, he's keeping people loose, but holding people accountable at the same time. I think Cora's going with, what's the veteran, we'll keep him out there. If he struggles a little bit, he'll wake up, he's Hanley, he'll be all right.
yeah.
But, it's not I don't think it's gonna help out the baseball team,
No,
in the
no.
lineup.
I think it's gonna hurt. I think it's gonna hurt the team, and I mean, I don't think the lineup is performing at its optimal point yet.
Oh
Because
God. I mean the top is, not the bottom. The bottom's been brutal.
yeah, but I just think Hanley's gonna start to be, kind of a sore spot in there, and I think some of us are gonna want Bogarts to be closer to the top, but he's been in the fifth hole basically all year long. I don't even know if he's come out of that at all, and
I think he might have been the fourth a couple times, but yeah, he's pretty much been fifth. And
yeah.
Bogarts, I mean, he's what, 288 now, 286, and you would like him to be closer to 300, but I think that missing the time that he did, he'll get back to it. He's
Yeah,
still playing unbelievable this year, and he'll probably end up batting 290, 300 by the end of the year, which could win him another Silver Slugger, like he's won two out of the last 3 years.
right. I think he'll get it, and I can kind of see the confidence in him more so than we ever have, and I just think I got the confidence that he's going to have a solid year.
Oh yeah, me
Um,
too. I trust him for sure.
yeah. Um, Dustin Pedroia could have an impact on the lineup. He is, I guess, going to be activated tomorrow, and I'm assuming in the lineup.
I would
Uh,
assume so. I don't know why they would activate him and not have him in the game.
yeah, especially with Nunez tonight. Um, So where do you see him slotting in? I guess it's already known that he won't be in the top third, and I can't imagine he'll be in the middle. So 6 through 8 somewhere, I would
I
guess.
think I think you'll end up putting him at six. That's where Nunez was tonight, and Devers at seven, Sandy at eight, Bradley at nine. I think that's what you're probably going to get. Well, you got Benintendi coming back, but that doesn't really matter too much. But I think that's what you'll end up seeing. Tonight you had JD Martinez in left, but Benintendi will be back tomorrow. So you'll have Tendi in left, unless they want to sit JBJ. But I think 6 or 7 for PD. I think six probably just because it's PD, and you got to put him there, which wouldn't be a bad thing because I think that helps out Devers a little bit too because you'll see PD on base more most likely.
Yeah, although he was 0 for 17, so that makes me wonder, if they're rushing him a little bit. The one thing Cora kind of leaned on was that he was going deeper into pitch counts with, 7 and 8 pitch at bats, and he said he was just kind of thinking that, where he's back at Fenway, the lights are going to be bright, and he'll basically rise to the occasion. And
Yeah, I think he'll do all right. I mean, he was saying himself the first couple of games at Pawtucket, he was like, I hit the ball good 3 times tonight, hit it hard, barreled it up, and 2 times I hit it right to somebody when 1 time was a single. That was like his first or second game. And I think that, and he said he was just going for that. He was just hoping to work counts, get some walks, hit the ball hard. He didn't care if he had 17 hits or none. So I think that, for him, it just was literally just getting back on the horse, and he'll struggle a little bit here, but I think that he will be great defensively, which will be a pleasant surprise from Nunez, and at the same time, maybe be a little bit of a spark for that bottom half of the lineup.
How confident are you in his ability to stay healthy? I mean, do you think you'll get basically 2 out of every 3 games from him from here out?
My confidence isn't very high with it. I think I think you'll get 2 out of 3 games from him. I think that just because he's a gamer, he'll go out there and he'll grind it out even if he's injured, but you'll see it just like the end of last year where he went into the last half, the last month of the year, and playoffs just hurt, but he played through it. And I think that you'll see him dip big time at the end of the year, and that's another contract that might not be the best for us going forward. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we could move it, but if somebody wanted him, if anybody out there wants Dustin Pedroia, I know he's been like your gritty guy and your dirt dog and all this fun stuff, but if we can move on to Dustin Pedroia's contract and just, I don't care who we get there, I'd be happy with it.
I wouldn't be shocked. It probably won't happen this year, but maybe midway through next year, if he's just dogged with injuries still, it wouldn't shock me to see him retire at some point, because I don't think he wants to ride the pine. And I mean, he's just, like you said, too much of a gamer to not have a critical role on the team. And
oh, yeah, for sure. But, I mean, money, I mean, would you throw away $20 million?
Well, I think his average value is only 13 or 14, which obviously isn't cheap. I mean, we'd love to get rid of that, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's just a bunch of things that are kind of going through my mind.
Yeah, no, his deal after this at 15, 13, 12 million. So if he retired even in his last year, he'd be throwing away $12 million.
Yeah, he could be. I don't know. My confidence in his ability to stay healthy just isn't up there. And one of the painful things is we don't really have a solution for him, within the farm system that I'm aware of.
Unless you want to move Chavez, who just got plugged for PEDs, over to second base from third.
Yeah.
Devers isn't going to move from there, and he's not going to take Devers' spot. Other than that, it's Brock Holt, and just if you can find somebody in free agency in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and Holt really is starting to, have his own durability issues whatsoever. Before we get into the Atlanta Braves series, what's the roster move that you expect once Pedroia does get activated? Swihart is the popular theory, but
I think. I mean, it's going to be one of 2 things. I think it's either going to be a phantom injury, like Velasquez was the other day. His back randomly started hurting, and he was on the 10-day DL. So it might just be a phantom injury, but I think it will be Swihart, and I think he'll be worked in a trade. I don't like it. I just think that's what's going to happen because I know that Dombrowski doesn't want him sitting there, and knowing Dombrowski, he's just going to try and get a ton of value, especially with Castillo going out, even though they just signed somebody off waivers from Oakland. You got Minnesota and the White Sox looking for catchers, and Swihart's young enough and controllable enough to actually put him there and be a catcher for you for the future.
Yeah, and Texas had some lengthy dialogue with Dombrowski as well in regards to Swihart. What do you think his value is, though? Because I'm thinking like top 15 prospect at the most.
Yeah, I don't think he's a top 7, 8, top 10 prospect, but if you could get a top 15 prospect for him at a position that we need, which is pretty much anywhere, it'd be a win. I mean, at this point, would you get rid of, I mean, we're not going to do it, but would you get rid of Vasquez?
I'd be open to it. I mean, if we're bringing, well, we wouldn't even, we could go with Sandy and just kind of ride it out, I guess. But if Vasquez was going to net a better prospect, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I would do the same. I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be Swihart DFA'd and then just work out a trade, or do you think that someone else is like someone else that has an option left, like a JBJ or Holt?
Probably it will be Swihart. I hope it's Holt, to be honest with you. I mean, once Pedroia comes back, I mean, he's extremely expendable and
100%.
And yeah, so I don't know, but it's kind of sad to see, what became of Swihart. I think John Farrell kind of, ruined his career by pulling the plug on him so fast, which led to him kind of being moved around, and then the ankle injury. It's just been such a chain of negative events for him, and it's crazy to think he was once untouchable. Like, we wouldn't put him in a Cole Hamels deal, and then look at Will Middlebrooks, at how untouchable he was, and we end up trading him for a backup catcher named Ryan Hannigan.
Hammer.
Was all we got for him. So my confidence in getting any significant value out of Swihart is just pretty low, unfortunately. But
I agree, though. It's probably not going to be anything crazy.
We'll know tomorrow morning what the decision was, and I wouldn't be shocked if it's a phantom injury like what we saw, just to give him another 10 days to evaluate things and maybe even work out a better package. Yeah. So. All right, the Red Sox are about to square off against the Atlanta Braves, which I don't think happens too often, probably once every few years, and they've definitely been a team of intrigue this year because their rebuild and rise to the top of the NL East is definitely kind of taken everyone by surprise. So here to discuss that with us is Stacy from TalkingChop.com, which is affiliated with SB Nation. You can find her on Twitter. I'm just going to spell out the Twitter handle. It's pretty easy. It's at SLMSOLO. And you can find her on there and Talking Chop. Stacy, how are you?
Hi, guys. I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So how exciting is it right now to be an Atlanta Braves fan and to cover the team?
Oh, gosh. Well, 4 years of a rebuild we really shouldn't be complaining about, but sitting in empty seats, watching, the eye bars of the world, like it's, and all of this coming together, it's just crazy. So
yeah, and the Matt Kemps of the world, you had to sit through that. And,
just Jim Johnson, I could go down the list, but
yeah, absolutely.
It's these are all the players that they've been talking about. They've been telling us they're coming, just wait. All of our young players, and here they are, they're all coming up, and they're all wowing us like they told us that they would. So
it doesn't seem that your top prospects are really falling short of expectations. Why don't you get into Acuna and Albies, because they seem to be your two brightest prospects who have been really behind a lot of your success.
Right. And so, everyone hears about Acuna. It was every day, it felt like waiting for him to get his call up. But Albies came up last year, and there really wasn't as much chatter about him until this year, and he's just blowing everyone's mind. He's got as many home runs as Harper. He has the most bases in anyone in NL. It's just like he's leading the team right now, and even more so, he and Acuna are two of the youngest players in baseball. Acuna is maybe not as mature. And so it's really nice to have that leadership quality